What's up, everybody? I'm Zero Zeus, and welcome back to another Fate video. So this is going to be my Fate Grand Order Babylonia Episode 6 review. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and let's get right into the video. Um, so basically, this episode starts off just like all the other episodes have. Not all of them, but it kind of started slow and steady, and then it just built up pace as it went. Basically, the episode starts. And it's showing, don't get me wrong, it started off on a hype point. It was basically showing the ritual revival. I'm not gonna say revival, but the ritual basically to revive Ishtar, right? And basically when they did, jumping a little bit further into the review, Merlin actually gives some insight into it's like a different personality of Ishtar. It's not really, it's her, right? But at the same time, it's a culminated personality. That's what I'm gonna call it. And it's crazy because it's these little moments that you see with her throughout the episode that just she just has a whole lot of those bah, she just really has those evil moments, right? But anyway, we're just gonna dial it back and start off with what we actually supposed to be talking about, because I'm just diving too much into Ishtar, and that's further on in the episode. Basically, like I said, we see her ritual. We see her brought back. And before, they cut away from her, they actually show, a couple of scenes of her mouth, right? And you see her have this, little smile. And it's I don't know. It's not supposed to be, it's not just a smile. Put it like that. That's just a little bit of insight into, she has something devious going on with her, right? And before they cut away from her hair turns blonde, and it makes me think about her sister, right? And, I'm not going to throw any theories out there because I'm not concrete or solid about anything that I was about to say about that, so I'm just going to keep that to myself. But, yeah, and basically the episode goes on into, you see Ritsuka, Mash, Merlin, they're in front of Gilgamesh, and basically he's giving them the rundown, he needs them to go to, I cannot think of the name of the place that they were supposed to go to. And I think even if I knew the name, I can't really pronounce it. But I know it begins with a K. I can say that much. I can say that much. And so basically he wants them to go to that town and investigate what's going on. Or basically, set up a battlefront against Ishtar. Because that's one of the towns that's under her control, right? And so basically they start to pack, and basically they run into Ushiwaka Maru, right? And she's saying how she would love to have went with them, right? And, it's just this little thing they have going on between her and Ritsuka. Just like with Mash and Ritsuka, they have these little moments with them, and you can just see them pushing it a little bit. I have no problem, but I'm just mentioning it, right? Mentioning it. And so Ritsuka was basically, and then they dropped that little information on you, basically, that she's from where he's from, basically. She's from where he's from earlier on in time, though. And they still worship her and mention her and talk about her now to this day. And she's still famous for what she did back in the day. And I guess, that's something she really wanted to know about. So further on, you catch them. I don't know if they were about to leave, or I think my boy Ritsuka was up there hitting him some push-ups, to be totally honest. And she basically comes up there, talks to him, and he's explaining to her, they have this little awkward moment, how Fate does. And she's really all close to his face and stuff like that, and he's acting all awkward and stuff. But he gives her the rundown of how she's seen in the future, and how people still, her will made it to the future. People still following her will to this day. And that's I think that'd be really cool to know, right? Thousands of years in the future, people are still talking about your story, and that's really cool, right? And basically Ritsuka could give her that clarification. And so that's that little moment they had. But Ritsuka and everybody, they basically leave. And I can't remember what Ushiwaka Maru and the other guy, his name is it just slipped my mind. They were going to do something that was totally different than what, Ritsuka and Mash were going to do, even though she wanted to go with him, right? But anyway, so basically they make their way to the village, right? and they notice it's like all desecrated. You see like craters everywhere. It looks like it was a battle there, basically. And so they're talking to everybody, and it was Ishtar. So like in the beginning of the episode, they just gave you a little slight, hey, poke, like, yeah, this is what this is gonna be about right here, and you see her, and then the episode was mainly focused on her, but some of those little interactions too, but mainly focused on her. And so we find out that she came there and she battled the demonic beast, right? And she saved the city, but she actually wanted payment for it though. So she took all their gems and stuff, and to them it seemed like they just got robbed. To them it seemed like they got robbed, and when Ritsuka and Mash, Anna, Merlin, everybody shows up, it seems like they got robbed too. And at this exact moment, while they're talking to like the townspeople, the civilians and stuff, right, Ishtar shows up. So it starts off just like how every other fight with her starts off. It's like it seems like they can't handle it, right? She goes right in. She starts hitting on Mash's shield, right? And at first it doesn't really look like it's doing anything, but you can start to see the impact and her getting pushed back, and it's like you could just see the difference in strength. And you can't really blame her for that because it's like it is a whole god. But anyway, so basically, she knocks her back. She knocks Mash back. She's giving everybody problems. You see Merlin. I don't know too much about Merlin. He pulls out this sword and basically cuts her off in whatever she's doing, right? And it just looked really cool. Like I haven't seen him do anything combat wise, so I mean, it was just like something new for me. So she starts to use her advantage against them, right? Flying. Because nobody else can fly. Nobody else can fly. So she starts to do that with him. And you see Merlin down there. It's really funny how he's like, come down here and fight fair. And you know if somebody has an advantage. And it's more, I guess if she was on the ground, God or not, maybe because it's more them than her. But it really didn't really look that way to me. All the other fights, even though in all the other fights she was flying too. So she starts to take advantage. And she starts to go after everybody. And basically, she's saying they can't beat him. They can't beat her. And Ritsuka, I guess, they came up with a plan in the background. And so he walks up like he's going to be the one to fight her. And she just like basically him saying that is like an insult to her because what does she look like fighting him, right? And it was kind of like a bait and switch type of thing because she pulls out this like gold sword. Look at that. It looked really cool. I don't want to just go into detail and make the video super long because I'm explaining the weapons and the way she used them. And she actually used her bow in a really cool way too. I just wanted to put that out there. That was really cool. But she goes after him, and basically Anna comes behind her and uses her chain, wraps it around her legs, and for once, finally, they actually like injured Ishtar. For once, like I'm not just trying to play her up so much, but from the way that it looks like to me, from the outside looking in, and it just looks like they couldn't take her, and they finally took her down, and I think that was like much needed, and it was satisfying. They didn't just instantly beat her off the bat, and they actually had to work towards it, and I think that was really cool. So at the end, oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention. So it's this funny thing that happens in the episode where Ritsuka, he stumbles across the underworld. And I just think that's really crazy. Like he was just walking around, him, Mash, and everybody, they split up. Now this is like kind of like halfway in the middle. It's like in the middle of the episode. And so he just walked into the underworld. Like that just sounds so crazy. Like he was just walking, and I can't remember exactly what they were looking for, but he just walked into the underworld. And he would have been trapped if it wasn't for this guy in there who, if I'm mistaken, but I think he's the guy who was in the alleyway that they had gave some food to that one time. He just like up and disappeared. I think that was him. I want to say that was him, but it probably wasn't. Please don't bash me if I'm wrong. Just correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, and he like kind of escapes from there. The dude just like he comes and saves him. If it wasn't for that, Ritsuka would have been he would have joined some of the guys in the underworld because that's what it was looking like. So And I think that's about it. I think the underworld thing that just kind of threw me for a loop because he just walked into it. Like it was no like indication that this was going on besides him saying like time was kind of distorted and stuff like that. So basically they find him on the ground. It looks like nothing happened. They just found him on the ground. He just laid out there like he just went to sleep in the middle of of the floor like MASH, all dramatic and stuff like that. Like, cause she was basically saying before he walked off, like, "Oh, I'm his servant. I should go with him." And it probably would have been better for him if he had her with him. Yeah, that just kind of proved exactly what she was saying, right? But yeah. So much going on, and it just ends up being like, and okay, so skip back to where we were in the review because I forgot all about the underworld thing. I had to mention that. And so basically they defeated Ishtar finally, and they tie her up. So she wakes up and it's like the morning time, I guess. I'm guessing because that's what she said, or she just said good morning just because she said good morning. But she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she's acting like she don't know, like she doesn't know who Ritsuka is, and he like introduced himself all over again and stuff like that. And she's like claiming he's like not gonna get away with this and stuff like that. You see Anna, and like I like how in these little moments you could just see the killer in her, like, and she puts the scythe around her neck, and she calms down, and they start to get information about what's going on. It's crazy because what's going on is just like a game of competition between the three goddesses. I don't know if it's the truth, but that's what she told them. And they're competing for the holy grail that Gilgamesh has. And I just thought that was funny. Like all of them are like, yeah, whoever can get it first and can destroy Uruk and get it first, it's like, yeah, we're the best. So that's kind of what's going on, even though it seems really simple because that's what she said. It's like, it's simple, right? It's like, yeah, that's like not the reason that I would have thought that you all were like going to war over with demonic beast and divine power, and you like that's not. I expected something totally deeper, but whatever. But yeah, that's about it. They have like I guess it starts to turn dark where they are. So like I said, she was just saying good morning and say good morning, and skeletons pop up. Like why would skeletons not pop up? They just pop out of nowhere, and so they have to hurry up and run. And Ritsuka does this little noble thing that he always does, and he freed Ishtar, and everybody leaves, and that's basically the end of the episode. But anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. So this has been my Fate Grand Order episode 6 review. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next video.